Hi, my name is Devin Grace, and I will be discussing combating AI job displacement with ethics. What is job displacement and what is the concern? First, job displacement is essentially when a job is removed, a new job takes its place. Automation constantly has job displacement happening with new technologies and automations taking place. For example, when an assembly line worker is replaced with a robot arm, a new job is created to maintain that robot arm. Potential issues come with skill change, wage gaps, and quality of jobs. So we can tell that automation is causing a job displacement rather than the depletion of jobs. We take this graph of unemployment over the past 70, 80 years, and you can see that there's no positive correlation between the new automation age and unemployment. A big factor, a big problem with the new automation, as it seems to be that there is creating wage gap within the labor force. So the graph we see here is actually the continued production. We're seeing companies are still producing more and more and more, but now we're seeing wage compensation starting to flatline within the labor class. So how would this apply to AI? So first we need to talk about what is AI. AI is computer and machines being able to interpret information and provide results. AI is one of the biggest innovations to this day, with big companies investing lots of money. Like Microsoft, for example, they're investing as much as $10 billion into a single company called OpenAI, which one of their products, ChatGPT, had 100 million active users in just the month of January. Um, we're beginning to see occupational wages and employment having a negative impact by the displacement risk of AI. Should you be afraid? It depends. No one really knows. I found two separate sources, two separate papers discussing the future of jobs, and both of them taking a different point of view. One was talking about how we actually haven't seen the worst of what is to come because humans will never be able to compete with the powers of computers. Whereas the other paper discussed that we're actually starting to see the wage gaps and the all the issues with job displacement actually starting to return to normal, and that it was just a big hiccup at the beginning with the robot revolution. The future is influenced by what we do now, though. So this is where ethics comes into play. So if we can properly learn ethical strategies and have discussions on these uncharted territories, we can now create general ethical models for companies, researchers, and engineers alike to come to build these foundations for how to use this new technology. Um, Developing AI to supplement the labor force rather than replace. And this will help keep in mind with all the skill changes and the wage gaps and the quality of jobs. So if we learn to create this AI technology to work more synonymous with humans rather than trying to replace them, then we can create a better world for everyone. So if we took a utilitarian approach, um, utilitarian is an ethical theory that evaluates actions based on their overall usefulness or utility in promoting happiness or well-being. Um, and if we were to use that on AI, we could see we'd promote human welfare through design and implementation and prioritize the development of AI systems that have the potential to improve the overall quality of life for the greatest number of people, such as medical diagnosis and climate change mitigation. The next approach would be the deontology approach. The deontology is an ethical theory that focuses on the inherent rightness or wrongness of actions themselves rather than their outcomes or consequences. If we apply this to AI, we could try to respect workers' inherent dignity and autonomy, treating them as ends in themselves, not means to an end. We could also try to protect workers' rights, minimizing potential negative impact of AI displacement, and provide opportunities for retraining and reskilling to help workers maintain their autonomy and dignity instead of just trying to replace and fill the new spot. The virtue ethics approach. So, virtue ethics is an ethical theory that emphasizes the role of character and virtue in ethical decision making. Um, if we were to apply this to AI, we could try to develop virtues such as compassion and empathy and social responsibility in AI design with the researchers and companies. We can cultivate virtues such as humility and openness to feedback for monitoring impact on workers, so that we make sure we're always monitoring the situation and not just diving head first. Develop habits of reflective practice and ongoing learning for ethical development, and promote practical wisdom by involving workers and stakeholders and not letting this just be a top heavy decision and letting everybody be involved in the discussion. So the end goal is to teach new engineers and everyone in the field about ethical guidelines with this incredible technology, so that you know we can raise these generations to think differently instead of diving headfirst into this new technology in uncharted territory. We can implement company codes through ethical discussion, so having companies be held accountable and building these ethical foundations into the company to help promote a better AI for the future so that everybody is benefiting and not just the few. Create government laws and regulations to aid the ethical applications of AI. So, making sure that governments are also holding companies and people accountable for when they're developing AIs to make sure that we're doing this the right way. Because AI is an incredible technology and we'll be able to accomplish so much more stuff, but we need to make sure that we're on top of it and creating the right version of AI for everyone rather than the right version of AI for the few. Here are my citations. Thank you for listening.